Madge, it was a good win, but the question everyone's asking is, how's the skipper?
You'll have to ask him.
I'm all right, just tightened up a bit there and didn't want to risk anything, so...
Bit old age setting in.
Yeah,
So
bit of
will you
old
go
age.
for a scan at all, Ren, or is it like...
Yeah, I'll talk to the medical staff, but that's probably the plan for tomorrow.
You think you'll miss a game, Adam? You think you've had, I don't know how many you've had, but you feel like you'll miss next week?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I feel pretty good. I'm pretty positive as a person, so talk to the medical staff and go from there.
Was it the chip and chase, Renault, or was it actually kicking the goal?
No, I done it in the first half. I felt it in the first half.
Right.
Sort of got to half time, assessed it, and then seen a bit of space there. And the good thing is I got through without doing anything serious. So.
You seem to recall when after you kicked the goal, though, I saw you sort of raise your hand up. Did you do something while you were kicking the goals?
No, I didn't want to kick the goal. I was looking for someone, but they're all facing the other way, walking back. So it was in front, so only kicked it at probably 30-40%. So.
Madge, you must have been happy with the second half, even at the back end of the first half, after they got to that lead right on half time, but the second half they blew them away.
Yeah, it was a funny first half. We probably made a meal of a few things there. We had a few opportunities, but you're battling against an opposition, so they were coming at us pretty hard too. So it was nice to be able to see the boys control the back end of that first half, and they regrouped at half time. The boys actually spoke really well at half time about what they needed to do, and obviously they took that out and then got control and got back into the game.
Madge, you must have been happy with your senior playmakers. Like their young guns were sort of throwing a bit at you in that first half, but then he kicks a 2-point field goal, Ben Hunt comes up with a 40-20 and the chip and chase. They were big moments.
Yeah, experience, isn't it? Well, that's what the boys definitely bring. But they throw a lot at you. They were shifting out of yardage and they were putting a lot of questions to us, so we had to work really hard defensively and obviously we put ourselves on the back foot a couple of times with a few 6-agains and penalties and things like that, which sort of was disjointed within the game, but the boys got together and made sure that they got it done in that second half.
Brendan, what's the story like with Brendan? Obviously,
he's okay. He's in there.
Joking,
filthy that he's put his head in the wrong spot, but he's okay. He's in there singing and enjoying himself. So we'll go through the protocol there.
You don't often see a top forward change a game either side of half-time match. I mean, I know Adam kicked that field goal, which sort of gave you a bit of an edge, but Xavier, you must be stoked in what he's done for you there with his willpower and strength. Can you talk about him?
Yeah, I will. I mean, I'll talk about Paddy and the time that he puts on the field there. Like, he had to play a lot of time today. He's very thorough about what he was doing, and Big Pano did a good job, and then Exy just jumps on the back of that. So between Corey as well, that 4 sort of interchange there that we have there, they're working really well together. But Big X is doing a good job for us. He's growing as a player as well. I think just being around those other two and playing more footy, I think there's so much upside in him, and just learning how to do that week in, week out.
Brandon, you were a bit confused about the interpretations and the enforcement of the high shots. It was sort of players were getting put on report. There was sin binnings. I know you questioned a few times some of the decisions. As a player, are you a bit confused about what's going on at the moment?
Not really confused, just sort of frustrating, I suppose. It's so much stop-start. It's not ideal, but that's the way the game cracks down. I mean, we've got to protect the players in headshots, so I understand it. But, it's frustrating, but it's okay.
Reno, do you want to play next year? Have you made a decision around that?
I'll look after this year first. I've still got a job to do here, so that'll sort itself out in the future.
Are you feeling different to last year? You had a lot of injuries. It must have been a tough year. You're feeling sort of different. You're obviously playing.
Feeling younger.
Yeah.
No, look, I'm enjoying myself. I still feel like I've got a lot to give, and I've still got a big job to do this year, so I'm not even worried about next year at the moment. Worried about obviously getting my body right for next week and, doing my part for the team and trying to, put us in a good position.
If you don't play next week, how do you think Hunty could go as stepping up to that senior half position?
Yeah, good. He showed that tonight. He'd done some work there in the pre-season when I had the operation, so it's probably a blessing. he's a quality player. That's why we brought him to the club to deliver in those moments, and he'll do a fantastic job.
Badge, there was a lot made during the week about you being up against one of your former clubs. What did you make of that? And it's nice to get the 2 points.
Dobbo actually asked me the other day, didn't you, Dobbo? Look, to be honest, I only look forward. I mean, I learn a lot off anywhere I've been, off all the different walks of my coaching, and I'm really enjoying coaching this group. That's all I focus on. We needed to get the win. It was really important to get another 2 points. It was a challenge, and we need to make sure we get ourselves sorted for next week now.
Madge, how do you think this team's shaping up? Like, you're obviously winning, which is what you would need to be doing, but it seems like they've got a lot of improvement in front of them.
Yeah, I think we have. I think, it depends on what the game throws at you too. And they're being able to handle moments. Like today, sometimes you can, put yourself in, some situations where you can't get yourself out of that. But the group are pretty calm through that period of when we had to challenge and sort ourselves out. And as I said at half-time, the boys were excellent. They came in and they knew exactly what they needed to do, and they went out and did that. So it's good to have a group that can actually change things very quickly on the run, rather than sort of having to do it at the back end of a game or in your review down the track and talk about what you need to do. They're fixing things as we go.
Thanks, Bruce.
Thanks, Will.